Da, 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 da. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. Are we living and loving for the fresh makeup? JUVIAS Place, discount code Fumi. Gerard Cosmetics, discount code Fumi. And of course, none other than Colored Rain, discount code Fumi. When I tell you that I am living and loving for their eyes, for their shadows, pitch black, just the way I love it. This dress is an old dress. You know how I am about old dresses. This is an old dress, let me get up, that I got from Banana Republic. I live and I love. Just look at how adorable and cute it is. I got the heels from Office and they're just wedges. They're so comfortable to wear. And I actually, to be honest, you know who inspired me to wear wedges? Princess Kate. Yes, the Duchess of Cambridge. She wears wedges and I thought they're kind of okay. Give you a little height. You look smart and your feet look comfortable. I'll go for it. Live and love. So I got a lot of DMs about this particular episode that we're going to do. And for those of you that don't know, it was a podcast and it was with Cam Newton and it was also with Miss Cheyenne Bryant. I had never heard of Cheyenne Bryant until this podcast. And so I decided to go for a run and I listened to the entire podcast and it was absolutely intriguing. Let me sit up. So, let me introduce to you Miss Cheyenne Bryant. She is a psychology expert. She's also a life coach, author of the book Mental Detox, an activist, founder of Dr. Bryant Institute and Dr. Bryant Foundation, and is the NAACP branch president. Then let me also introduce to you Cam Newton. Cam Newton is actually Cameron Jorel Newton, an American former professional football player who was a quarterback for 11 seasons in the National Football League. He's the NFL leader in career quarterback rushing touchdowns and second in career quarterback rushing yards. He was born 11th of May. He's 35 years old in Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America. He has 8 children. His parents are Jackie and Cecil Newton, and he has 2 siblings. So we have a picture here, and it says, the baby mama, but never the wife. And then you have a clip from the blog from Camp's YouTube episode. Underneath that, I'm going to read what Essence Magazine had to say. And it goes like this. The mother of your children, but never the wife. Miss us with that, respectfully. Cam Newton recently stirred the pot on his podcast, dropping this gem. My point is this: my desire to get married is lower than my fears of divorce. Newton's candidates highlights a growing trend among men who are happy to father children but shy away from tying the knot. It seems like more men are choosing the joys of fatherhood while keeping marriage on the back burner. Is it commitment issues or a smart avoidance strategy? While traditional marriage is still valued, many are rethinking its role in their lives. Newton's perspective raises important questions about the nature of modern relationships. Is it the meet me at the altar, or is it a meeting in the bedroom? Both are on the playlist. We just need to clarify here. Maybe we're not just rewriting relationship rules, but drafting a whole new playbook. Is this the era of broken homes and broken hearts? We need a resolution. We have so much confusion. Are we witnessing a shift in how we define family? Are we in a new era of relationships? Sigh. Let's talk. I had never heard of Cheyenne Bryant. As a matter of fact, when I heard her second name, Bryant, I instantly thought of Kobe Bryant. I went to her Instagram, and girlfriend is fabulous. She's 41 years old, and she was actually wearing, I think it was a Fashion Nova dress. I lived and loved it, and I bought it. When it comes in, I'll wear it on the show. I want to give Chayanne her flowers. You are a powerhouse. I loved your story. For those of you that haven't watched it, her mother was only 15 years old when she got with her dad, and they had Chayanne the year later. Her parents met when they were 10 years old, and her father is very much in her life and a very huge part in her life, and it shows. And that is one thing we share, because my father has been a huge part of my life when it comes to strength, when it comes to perseverance, when it comes to endurance, when it comes to fearlessness. I got it from my father. And my mom and dad have given me different gifts. But when it comes to really pushing through, that masculine side comes out of me, which is from my dad. And her parents had a very interesting start in life. They now work for her. Watch the podcast, and I admire her because of the strength. She has healed on the inside of all of her childhood traumas. And I would tell you this: when you heal on the inside, nobody can touch you on the outside. And I bring this up because Cam had asked whether she was married and what she thought about marriage and had she been loved and all of these things. And I loved her answer. And I understand, Chayanne, I understand you so very well. Because you have healed, it's going to be harder for you, because you are complete and you are free. I think it also has to do with maturity. I got married at 40, very much at your age now. And I had to heal from the inside out and get rid of whatever traumas I had, because I knew I wanted to get married. And I also knew that if I didn't, that was okay, because I knew what I was bringing to the table and I knew what I was looking for. And so it's going to take a special kind of person. But that person will find you, Chayanne. Because if I was a man, I would marry you instantly. Instantly! Instantly! You are what a man is looking for. A solid man is looking for, it's you. You are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are fluid, and you're open to share. I love the way you spoke to Cam, and at the same time you held his hand in support. At the same time you gave him his flowers. I'm going to step in as a big sister because I am 14 years older than you. When it comes to relationships and looking for somebody, is class. If that person's not your class, it doesn't matter how high functioning they are or how high value they are. You're not the same class, you're not the same ilk, it's not going to work. Because you can have somebody who's not wealthy but has class, and you guys can still ride up and build together. You said that you would look for somebody who was like 28, that you would go as low as that, late 20s, to get married. Because I'm your big sister, I'm going to tell you this: look for somebody older. Because even though you're only so very young at 41, you have mastered this life and you are prepared for anything that comes for you. You're very strong and you're going to be intimidating. It just comes with the package. It really depends on what poisons that's not going to kill you. That's the one that you're going to pick. And so, because you're strong, because you're centered, because you came from the background that you came from and survived, not only survived, that you excelled, you're a powerhouse. That man has to match your standards. Because of what you've achieved, there are no negotiables. When Ola met me, and we spoke about this years after, he said, Fumi, I had to accept you as you are because you are who you are. You are who you are. I knew that. And I knew that this would be what it will always be. And I was ready for it because I also knew what I could bring to the table. And I knew what I could fit in on the sides and coax you. And that is our survival ticket. You mentioned another factual point of which I have told Fumi Nation in the dating game. You said the foreplay was talk. Ask all the uncomfortable questions. Ask all of the difficult questions. 110%. For my new members, Ula and I did not make love until our wedding night. I remember I had said to him, Ula, no cookies. And he had responded, Fumi, I don't want you for that. We've got lots of time for that. I need to know who you are. And I've said it on this channel. Love him. Know the man. Know the man. And you echoed that. And that's why I know that you're on the right track. And I will support you in any way at the NAACP Awards. You tell me to come, I'll come. You tell me to bring Fumi Nation, we come. Because we're a nation upon ourselves. I had to give you your flowers because I want other 41-year-olds, other 45-year-olds, other women out there in their 40s, in their 30s, in their 50s that are saying, I'm not married, I don't have children. It doesn't matter, baby. You keep making yourself exceptional. He will meet you there because you are non-negotiable. You are non-negotiable. At your age, which I was told, you will not find a man that does not have children. Ha! Ula was 44. He didn't have children. You want to have that journey together. You want to enjoy that journey together. Because I feel that when one partner has children, they've already had that experience and they're not necessarily as eager, as open to have another one. But this is your first time and you have to experience it and you have to have the baby shower and you have to have all of these wonderful things that come with motherhood. All of you are deserving, my beautiful Fumi Nation sisters. You are not old because we've got science. My father's a doctor. He's a medical doctor. And so I have such passion for medicine. Like I've said, freeze your eggs. Freeze your eggs because you need to buy time. You can also adopt. You can also foster. There are opportunities out there for you to be a mother. It was only after I had had Adrian that I realized I'm a mother to all. It's how you raise them. It is how you raise them. I also want to bring up another point. That just because you've not had children, you don't know about marriage, you don't know about raising children. That is not true. Because you've had a front row seat just like I. And I watched all of my friends fail miserably at their marriages, fail miserably as parents. I knew what I did not want and I knew what I wanted. And I took from where and how I was raised. I put all of that in and I had a conference meeting with Ula for 3 weeks straight on how I wanted our son to be raised. And we were at the negotiating table, sexy foreplay, sexy, when I tell you, on what he wanted. Because you see, as white as Ula is, we're the same class. And I love the fact that you open up your horizon and say, I can date a white man. Because that was what Cam asked. And Cam, I'm going to come to you in a minute. I want other women to know now that when you come onto my channel and I say these things, I am so happy that Cheyenne is echoing literally everything I say on this channel. And I want to let other Fumi Nation sisters know, never negotiate, never compromise yourself. It is when you compromise yourself that you get the smaller prize. You see, the bigger the sacrifice, the bigger the reward. If you say, okay, you know what, I'll get him for 18 years, you won't get the ring. You will not get the entire package of where you do see your child having that loving, wonderful, well-rounded, well-balanced family because there was a compromise. I've said it before. If you're going out on a date, make sure you eat before you go out because you do not want that plate of food to compromise your reasoning and what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So that when you go there, you can pick the plate. It's not that when you go there, you want to eat everything. And then he's like, will you come to my place? Because you compromised yourself over a plate of food. You have to have standards. And when you have standards and you don't negotiate, guess what? The rubbishy people will come first. Then after that, the people that are your standard will come and meet you toe to toe. It takes a little time, but they come. I met Ola at 39. I was married at 40. And we're out here in these love streets going 16 years. And I don't regret anything. And I want that for you, Fumi Nation. If you don't believe me, listen to Cheyenne. Instead of you to wait, to think you're not good enough, continue to better yourself. Go for the class. Go for the course. Go for the library meeting. Go for the book club. Because you just might meet him there. You just might. Cam, you're 35. So you're 20 years younger than me. And because of that, I've been around the moon 20 times more than you. I appreciate how much you love your children. I could see it, especially with your sons. And I think that you were stimulated by Cheyenne in a way that you have not been with your 3 baby mamas. That was a sexual thing, but Cheyenne got you thinking. You love your father. You admire your father. But there were things that you said you wish he had done. And I think in so doing, that is why you are with your children the way that you are. Because what we crave, we do repeat because we want to do better. So I think that you said to yourself, I'll do better here. This was therapy for you. And I think this was therapy for a lot of people that was watching this podcast. Because I think when you walked into this interview on your platform, you did not know that you were going to feel the way that you feel. That was how I interpreted it. I may be wrong. I want to tell you something about parenting. It's not the kiki. It's the waking up at 3 a.m. It's doing the school runs when you're sick yourself. It is sitting down and doing their homework. It is loving them despite the fact that they're trying your every nerve. It's accepting them also for who they are. Just because I'm from my mother's womb does not make me my mother's twin. So your sons will go on to be who they are. You have to love them wholly. And parenthood also is loving the mother, because that 50% DNA is the mother. You see, when I look at Adrian, 50% of that love I have for Adrian is extended, is Ula's. Ula gave me this child in his likelihood, in his personality, even the way they sleep. It has made me love Ula even more. It's an extension. I cannot love Adrian without loving Ula. There was a point that you made and said that men are positioned in a place where they have to financially provide. It starts from there. It's not that women just love you, that it starts from providing. There are a lot of Fumi Nation men on this channel. And like I have said, I know women. I'm a woman. And I wanted a girl, but our Father up above gave me a son. And I know now he gave me a son so that I could understand my fellow brothers and my fellow sons. And that's why Fumi Nation men are a vital part of of our family going forward. So I say this to you. You're right. As a woman, we come to you because we believe that you will provide and you will protect us. That is what we are taught. I think a part of what you are missing is that, you see, us women, we are given options. If we choose and marry you, we love you. We love you over anybody else. And the interesting thing here is, we don't care about the money. No. But we do care about you protecting us, because that's the soft spot for us. For you having children, beautiful children as they are, I don't think you believed that the woman you slept with that gave you these children loved you past your money, past the NFL. And that was why you made the careless mistake and said, I'll pull her up, I'll bring her up. Because camp, you didn't date, nor are you sleeping with your class. And so you have a God complex from your NFL. I'm an NFL player, baby. I'm cute. I can change your world. You can only say that to a girl who has not found herself. But you can't say that to Cheyenne or to the likes of Fumi Nation members, because we don't need your money. We have our money. I don't need you to make me happy. I know what makes me happy. And I'm non-negotiable. That's why this was so fantastic. Because the very thing that you said wasn't true to all the way. And when you asked Cheyenne, what makes you happy? She said, I make myself happy. Because women, Fumi Nation women, you have to make yourself happy. Nobody can make you happy. And you can sit in your house with all of the beautiful Chanel bags, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, list goes on. And you're miserable. Because the man that you love is sleeping with somebody else. You only slept with these women because somewhere down the line, you have not connected with a woman, of which now brings a very curious question. How did you see your father towards your mother? And perhaps you just went off on the railings and you were searching for and didn't find it. But the result came out was of children. And you are taking care of your children because you can financially do so. That's easy. Do it on a salary of $1,500 with 8 children. There are fathers out there that are doing the step and repeat. And it's hard. It's not easy. There was a gentleman who could not afford a birthday cake for his daughter. So he bought quarter of the cake with 1 candle, sang happy birthday to her from a bunk bed of 4 other children in the room, of where he and the wife slept in the sitting room. And they laughed and they had the best time. And you can see the love in there. It is a dysfunction if you deliberately go out to have children with various women and you don't marry them. What is the fear of the commitment? Because perhaps you are not matching up to your class. Because if you do match up to your class, the intimidation is going to come from you. I'm not good enough. I'm not ready enough. She sees through my mask. She sees through my NFL. I'm not there yet because you have unsolved trauma. Yes, you do, my baby. But you're going to get there. And because you're only 35, you're at a stage where you're still young. When you get to 55, you're much more humble and you've seen things and you realize things are not black and white. And so you won't ask the question, why are you not married? Why don't you have children? And you know what? My fear of getting married is not as high as me getting divorced. Is that because you're going to have to pay out an alimony? Is it a money thing? That's why you don't want to get divorced. That's why this, that, and the third. You really have to be clear about what you want, what you need. Because they're two different things. Because you have the urge for something. But do you really need it in the aftermath of it all? That's why Chayanne sat there for the 2 hours, and she could have done 5 with you. Because you need to find out where you are. And you need to understand why, when you came from a family that where your parents are married for 37 years, you said, my parents have been married for 57 years. Ula, the same thing. Find your match. Find your class. High functioning, low value, forget about that. The both of you, look for your class. Your class will determine whether you can survive this or not. That is one. Also, if you are healed from the inside. And even if you have your traumas that can trigger, your partner knows your traumas to know that he can love you and she can love you as a whole, because these are your triggers. So you know what? Just give him 5 minutes. Give him 5 minutes. What it can do? Give him 5 minutes. It's okay. It's okay. Camby baby, how are you, honey? Mama loves you. Yes. Yes. And when you get to where I am, at 55, and you go over, pray God you live into your 90s, you will understand why your children would have needed their mother and you. You will understand that to have done it deliberately was selfish. Because what you had with your parents is what they deserve also. That's all that I have to say. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings. All of my love. And I will see you what? I will see you sooner than later. Da, 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 da.